Alright, just some quick thoughts on this custom knife factory, Sukhoi 2.0. Got this for a little under $400 US from knifecenter.com. And it is not a custom knife, it's actually a production knife, but the level of design is definitely up there, and finish is definitely up there in the custom, handmade, hand finished range quite very much. I could probably spend 15-20 minutes just looking at this from different angles and explaining little things, just pointing out interesting aesthetic design elements and industrial design elements, just looking at how the chamfers come together and diverge and how different curves interact with each other and such, but I won't bother you with all that. Suffice to say, to me, it's an absolutely beautiful thing. Fundamentally, it's a titanium handle knife. This is all solid milled titanium with carbon fiber inlays, technically. I hesitate to call them inlays because they go from top to bottom and end to end. And they're so thick. Look around the pivots. It's probably milled from probably 6mm stock or something like that. Pretty good quality carbon, as well as just one small little bit of evidence of bubble in it. Custom pivot hardware. This actually has ball bearing, thrust bearing ball races around the blade, one on either side. Everything that you see that's blue is anodized titanium, including the belt clip there, which is a beautiful thing in and of itself. I generally don't care much at all about belt clips, but gosh, that's a really nice looking thing. It's got a nice long handle too, good thickness, and you know, even though so much of it just looks beautiful, it actually feels good to hold. A little bit open on the underside, just feeling it inside of my fingers, but it gets a good grip and it has enough length that it should work well for different hand sizes. I mean, if you have a small hand, skinny fingers, you can fit into there pretty nicely. Larger hand can still get good control coming all the way back. Incidentally, I found that you could actually open this thing without even using the thumb stud. Let's see if I can get the flick right here. There it goes. I'm not worried about that from a safety perspective. It does lock in well enough, but there's a lot of weight to this blade that you can really flick out. And speaking of the blade, very thick, very thick spine, and I don't know my metals. I just don't. So I'm not just gonna look it up and pretend, you know, cite some things from Wikipedia. I don't know S35VN, but I do know that this is the strongest feeling metal that I've ever had my hands on in my entire life in any situation. It's really impressive, and there's so much of it here. There's incredible strength in this blade, and the spine, I mean, it looks like it just goes from perfectly flat and then just starts smoothly tapering down in a, you know, in that convex shape. But you see that the grind actually, it comes right up to the spine right there, and it's just such a smooth transition. It's incredible. You can feel it a little bit from the side, but as you move up to the top, it just goes away. You just don't feel that at all. So you get a lot of strength, and this is actually completely flat grind here, and it just keeps so much material all the way out to the tip. There's incredible strength here. Small belly, does have just the slightest bit of recurve, just the slightest bit of recurve down at the heel. Here's the bad news. This thing came from the factory dull. I mean, dull. The grind was just not complete. Didn't form a burr or anything. I was able to do like this the other way around without worrying about it, and I did that repeatedly because it was just so funny to me. Like, look at this thing, it's ridiculous. But the good news is that I was able to get a really nice edge on this thing very easily and with confidence, and I'm not even good at sharpening yet. So I'm sure that with more practice and more experience, I'll be able to get an incredible edge off that. Even right now, it's, you know, slicing through paper just fine and can shave hair and such. Strong blade and just a beautiful design. I'm very proud to be an owner of this.